It's the blog segment. The blog. The blog. What are you going to talk about this week?
I was just going to.
I already know what you're going to talk about.
Okay, today I'm going to talk about. Okay, no, let me talk about the IRS. When you have an IRS problem, okay, one way, almost always, you're going to have to either you're going to pay the IRS or you're going to figure out that I can't pay them. And if you can't pay the IRS, you have to prove that to them. They don't just take your word for it. You say, I'm sorry, I can't pay you. And they say, okay, we'll just go away. You have to prove it. And it's like any other kind of court case. You have to put evidence together. You have to give them information. And they're going to scrutinize everything. And they do this with, so one of the things that it really boils down to, and one of the most important, I would say that the secret ingredient to solving your IRS problem is compliance. But next to compliance, the next important thing is this collection information sheet, okay?
Which is Form 433A, right?
In my office, we call it 433. So when we don't call it the collection information statement or C.I.S. Okay, we call it the 433 form. And the 433 form is a form which gathers information about you and your finances. So now we talk about this on the show a lot, is that when the IRS is asking you questions, a lot of times they know the answers to those questions. So you be honest, and you have to be honest. So you can't really hide anything. And if you do this on the 433 form, you have to be honest, and you sign under penalty of perjury. But a lot of the things on here, they already know. So they're going to ask you, where do you bank? They probably already know because your bank is sending them the IRS information every year about what kind of interest that you have.
I asked them not to do that.
I know, you'd ask them, but they do it anyway. Okay, so they know about that. If they own a home, they know you own a home. They could they do searches. They know all about you. Okay, so they're going to ask you what your income is. Well, guess what? The IRS knows what your income is. Okay, because they collect all this information. But you have to fill out this form. It's got personal information. They're going to ask you where you work. They're going to ask you again where you bank. Do you have any life insurance? Who do you owe money to? Do you have a safe deposit box? They want all of your assets. They want to know what you own. Can you sell something to pay your debt? Do you have money in the bank? And I got to say, if you have a lot of income or if you have a lot of assets that are easily liquidated, they're not going to agree to any payment plan. And this is something that people don't understand. I'm just going to get into a payment plan. No, if you have money in the bank, they want the money. Okay, and they're not going to agree to a payment plan. You can pay it down under $50,000, and then you can always get a payment plan. That's a little secret that I'm giving you right now. So,
did you just give away a secret?
But
can
again,
you repeat that? I forgot to have my.
So again, they're going to ask you about life insurance. They're going to ask you about your real estate. They're going to ask you what kind of car you drive. They're going to ask you what kind of bills you have. Do you have any credit card debt? But it really comes down, and this is really the focus of helping people solve IRS problems, because people do this themselves, and a lot of times they fill out this form kind of willy-nilly. See what I did there?
I could see how that could happen.
And you just kind of say,
going through this form right now.
Yeah, just like, I'll just fill this out. And a lot of times what happens with the IRS will fill it out for you on the phone. And so they'll ask you, what kind of bills do you have? And then they'll write it down. And then they'll hold you to that. And you'll forget a bunch of stuff.
IRS, is this going to take a while? I got something in the oven.
Okay, so just pay us. Okay, so it really comes down to, and this is the key to solving any IRS problem. Either you're going to pay them everything or you're not going to pay them everything. If you're not going to pay them everything, then the key is, well, how much are you going to pay? And this is what this form is all about, determining what your disposable income is and any assets that you have available for them to take. So I have a client now, he has a home, and he's got a lot of equity in the home, and we're trying to come up with a payment plan. But the IRS says, well, look at all this equity he's got. Why doesn't he get it? Well, he can't get at it because he's having credit problems, and here in Illinois, it's hard to sell your home. So you have to prove to the IRS that you can't access that
it's hard
equity.
Because you're not using Leahy Real Estate with that property.
Well, you have helped people with, you have helped clients of mine get what they call a CMA, a comparative market analysis to give to the IRS to show them this is what my house is worth. This is how much I owe on it. Okay, yes, there's a little bit of equity there, but I can't actually access that equity. So I have people who go to, you have to sometimes go and make a application for a loan.
But you could fill this out on the 433 form, right?
I don't understand the question.
I don't understand the question either. I'm trying to understand because, again, this 433 form is kind of confusing. So if I have any questions on this, can I call you?
Absolutely. And again, this is the key to solving this problem. So don't take it lightly. Don't think you can just put numbers down. If your own numbers show that you can pay $1,000 a month, well, guess what? You're never going to pay less than $1,000 a month. So you want to make sure that these numbers are accurate and that you fill the form out correctly. This is the key. This is one of the keys to solving IRS problems. Remember, 85% of the people are going to come up with some sort of installment agreement or something like that. And even if you're going to do an offer and compromise, it still goes around on the 433 form. So anyway, this is important. Okay, the 433 is important, and don't take it lightly.
If you have any questions regarding the 433 form or any other IRS questions, make sure you contact Opem Tax Resolution 312-664-6649 and visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Listen, we're going to commercial break, so you got to keep listening to our sponsors, and you got to come right back here on AM560
The Answer.